Hi guys, welcome back to episode 2 of our podcast, the Wellness Podcast. The theme was and is love or submission. I'm your guest, Wacera Kabando, and today we are joined by
Yes, so today we're joined by Cheche, the one and only.
Mary Mikali.
Hey, Nelson there, aka Chief Bazenga.
And your girl D Dapo,
And our one and only,
our mother.
our one and only Mama Wellness.
Woo!
So we'll let her introduce herself and tell us what she does, why we call her Mama Wellness, and who she is.
This is something that I didn't expect, but now that I'm here, my name is Janet Ochieng. I am Mama Wellness, as they call me. These are my babies. They've done a good job, and we're here just to continue with what our guest of honor has just said, Lynette Kabandu. Thank you so much for coming, and I believe that we are gonna do a good job today, just like never before. Thank you.
Yes, so our topic today is love or submission. All of y'all know from part 1, I am for submission, because in real sense, love is there during courtship, but then again, marriage cannot survive with just love. You have to be submissive for the marriage to go on well and for it to last a long time. Love can end, but then when love ends, what happens? You have to be submissive for the marriage to go on. And a submission entails respect. Submission entails your partner respecting you for who you are and making sure that your decisions and your thoughts are well out there.
Topic ni love or submission. For me, I feel like love is equals to submission, or submission. Actually, submission equals to love. There's no way I will submit and I don't love you. That's why at a love ikifade, it will always be there to submit. If I've loved you from the get-go, alafu hiyo love yenye unasema itafade, kama nimezoea kukupikia, si nitaendelea tu kukupikia.
Yeah. And I don't think, okay, fine, love fades the feeling, because feelings are temporary, like I said before.
Yes.
But love is also a choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every waking moment for the rest of your life, you're with this person. You choose to love them. And that's why you find that people who have been married for over 30, 40, 50 years, renew their vows. Because you're not loving the same person that you married 10,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You're choosing to love this new person because they have grown, they have changed, they've developed, and they've changed for the better, not for the worse. That's why you're still with them. That's why you're renewing your vows with them. So love is not enough to sustain, but when everything else is away, love is always there. Love will remain a choice through the good and the bad, thick or thin, depending on your boundaries and standards. Because you can love someone and say it's not working and I'm going to leave, and that's okay, that's your choice. So love might not be the only thing to sustain, but love is so important, even on your deathbed. So important.
Calling in Bible services. The Bible is being called the Bible. Now, okay, this is the Bible calling. How may I assist you? Now, let's go. You see, this Bible itself, it is saying the woman must submit to the man, and the man must also love and care for the woman as he cares for himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm of the opinion that love is a result. Is a result that is coming as a result of the submission that is being received.
Do you think the man should submit to the woman?
I should love you and care for you. Listen, I love you, care for you, protect you, as the things that a man should do, provide for you and everything. And with that submission, ukinisubmitia pia me, I'll find the reason. That's why I'm saying when you're beginning a relationship, how you conduct yourself will equally determine how that man will treat you. If you're just like that, the man will treat you just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have some standards and you have some what do you call it? These boundaries, and then the man he knows them, and he decides, you know what, this is what I want. There are statements that some people can mention. A man can look at a woman and be like, listen to how she's talking, see how she's conducting herself, and be like, this is the woman I'll marry.
Mm-hmm.
This is the woman I'll marry. Mm-hmm. And that man will be like, you know what, I have to do something. I have to be a man here. This woman is following me. This woman is submitting to me. I have to take care of her. This woman is changamke. I'm not talking about boys. I'm talking about men. Like you see, even in this, and I also believe that love and submission, these two complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
They complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say that love and submission were class. Then class. Love is the teacher. Is the teacher here. Submission is the student. No. So, the student is giving, you're giving, and then you're seeing results. The teacher is going to be talking about, hey, this one has performed well, I will gift you. You've performed well, I will gift you. You see?
But in the beginning, love being the teacher, you can't have a class without a teacher. So, to start it off, and this is what she said, courtship. There's a lot of love, the feeling, right? I will not be submissive to just any man.
I'm coming there.
I will be submissive to a
man
man who
has shown me that he loves me.
I've just mentioned that the love is a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Submission is a student.
Mm-hmm.
I remember mwanafunzi pia anachagua ile shule yenye anaenda. You're choosing your school.
Now the classes.
And you're choosing those classes. Unachagua. So you want to the
But
teacher.
your parents won't allow you to do that because they are the ones who have taken you to school.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are young and below 18, they should be able to decide for you which school to go to.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are in the tertiary education, there is always that leeway of you by picking what you want to pick. But you see, as we talk about a teacher and a student, there are laws that follow.
Mm-hmm.
There are consequences of choosing what you are choosing. When you choose love, you'll expect nothing in return. Is there a possibility that you have done your best as a woman? You have done your best to be submissive. The man has done his best to love, but still the two cannot agree. There is no agreement. Is there a possibility?
Yes.
A big possibility. And so for me, when you love, submission comes automatically. And when you submit, love comes automatically. It's a vicious circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a circle that can only be, practiced by people who love each other and are ready to submit to each other.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not ready for that marriage or that relationship, you'll not be able to see the two work together. So love and submission, for me, I say, are twins.
Yes.
They just have to work in tandem with each other. He is talking about the Bible, which is very, very important. That is where I draw all my strength. The virtuous woman.
Yes.
This woman who builds with her hands and breaks with the same hands. This woman is being told to be submissive. And the Bible does not talk about her loving the husband. Never. It is the husband who loves, but the woman who submits. There is no way. So, for me, for you to earn that submission, you must work extra hard. For us to, have this work in tandem.
Bumbo clad.
And that's it.
Don't get mom wrong. No, I'm seeing people getting this wrong. Kindly remember that this is an institution. This is a partnership.
Yes.
You're putting in the work, I'm putting in the work. I'm hearing her saying that you must work extra hard to get that submission. You must work extra hard to get that love from me. It is the same.
It's the same.
That's
I
wrong.
don't
This one that you're
disagree.
lifting your hands
No,
up as if
listen. See, you're quick to judge. I said in the first episode, yeah? If you come to me and you tell me, you need to respect me as a man.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Respect
What's
is
wrong?
earned.
No,
It's
no,
not
listen,
given.
listen. There's something wrong with that because you don't show up as a man. You're showing up as a boy. respect is earned. Respect is two-way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to respect you as a man, yet you can't respect me as a bare human being, not even to speak of genders. So how am I supposed to submit to you?
You know, daughter, if you start saying that you submit and wait for that love to come, then you are actually thinking that it's a must. You choose to love, you choose to submit. And so when you choose to love, expect nothing in return. And when you choose to submit, expect nothing in return. Keep doing good. Good people get good things. Good people get good people. And when you have that notion that good people get good people, you work together to achieve that.
Ni sawa.
Ni sawa, ni sawa.
Sisi ni wanawake.
Sisi ndo wanawake.
But let's go back to how the ground is.
Right.
No, let's talk about reality.
Yes,
Like keeping it.
yeah.
We're supposed to have very candid conversations.
That is why nataka turudi kwa ground. This is Bible and textbook context. That's how things should be done based on how probably the books have been written. But when you come to the ground, things are different.
Yeah.
When you as a man come tell me, respect me as a man, in that way it gives me no option but to do so.
Yeah.
Of which I
Despite-
don't want to have an option to submit or to love you. I want it to come automatically. Because when you come and tell me I respect you as a man, that is meaning I have to do things only based on how you want things to be done. How
And
things
people-
should be getting.
And people out here are so rude and
Yes.
so nasty. And Mom, you said good people get good people and good things. But that's true. In the end, we get that, right? But you've been a good person to someone. But this has been the wrong person. So they'll take advantage of your goodness. They'll take advantage of your virtues and your principles. And because they know they're supposed to love you, they'll do the things that you expect them to do, but that will also come along with a lot of abuse, emotionally and sometimes even physically. Yeah? Like I was saying, he's going to do all those things that you want him to do for you, but he's also going to buy you a lot of makeup to cover up for those black eyes that you
And
have
that's
on
why
your
I
face.
said and I asked, yeah, there's a thin line between submission and
And love
being
and-
misleaded.
Yeah, misled.
Wewe
It's okay, look at Amelie.
wewe si mimi nimeongea, but you see, so like I was telling guys here, you can be battered in the house, umetandikwa, umechapwa. Ukaenda huko nje ulize why you with this person. That is how he expresses his love. So I should submit to him.
And that's
Probably I
where
feel-
you go wrong because
Yes.
that's a direct reflection of who you are. That means there's something for
You're
you to
holding on.
for you to entertain all that, for you to entertain any abuse without leaving. There's a lot of background work that you need to do on yourself for you to accept ABCD. It's like parent-child relationship. Your parents will not allow you to do ABCD because you're a reflection of who they are. You're basically their blood and flesh. Right? So mzazi atakukanya, atakucorrect, whatever method they use. Because you go out there, this is who you are, you either bring shame or pride home. The same thing with your partner. How they treat you behind closed doors will always come out in the open. And fine, the whole world will be like, it's not nice, it's not. But then after they side with you, they'll ask you, why are you still with him? Why are you still with her? People will lose respect for you because of who you live. Yes, that's true.
Mambo ya watu wanalala pamoja na wanaishi pamoja.
Wachana nayo.
Wachana nayo. That is a very big-
Leading
that's a
to
very
that
difficult
statement,
government.
niko na swali. Would you respect a man that treats you well and close doors, but out there disrespects you, or vice versa?
Why?
Out there ako mzuri kwako, lakini nje kwa nyumba amekudisrespect.
I
No, I would
wouldn't
not.
entertain that.
So it has to be respect inside
Let me tell
Respect
you,
is everywhere.
respect is respect. There's no, that means that you're just a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Mm.
If you can't respect me behind closed doors, then outside you're just as fake as plastic is.
Yeah.
You know, you're just putting on a mask. And if outside there you're disrespecting and then you come home after sorry, you're manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
You come home, you bought me this. You've come home, you want us to take a trip here and here. You've come home, you're throwing money in my face. After you disrespect me outside, that's manipulative. And there's something wrong with you. And even me who stays there thinking that's love. You need to live and check yourself first. No, this is not what I want to do. And that's why when you said nowadays ladies have lists of what they want, that's okay.
Non-negotiable.
That's fine. Because there's so many stories out here of how women have been mistreated. It's high time you start speaking of how women are treated like princesses. Because the minute you love a girl right, that girl will remove your socks when you enter the door.
But those topics
Even
are there.
if she's a corporate woman.
Those
Even
topics
if
are
she's a
there.
corporate woman.
Those topics are there. You see, again,
But what's more? The abused
no.
partners or those who are in flourishing
Let me
relationships?
tell you something.
But I also think, I also think that we need to understand that in the Greek and the Greece, society, a woman was just a thing. They called her a thing. She was not supposed to appear even before anybody. She was kept in the apartments. She could only go out there with his brothers-in-law, and she was never seen alone on the streets. And so she was just a thing. She was just like any asset, a
She was
house.
property.
She was property, and she had nothing to say. But for now, we have something to say. And when we have something to say, we need to know how to say it. We need to understand that we were not given that chance before. So how are we going to put it on the table today for this man to understand us? By not putting the kwazo, not saying I'll do this, then you will do this for me. You make a cup of tea and then you say, I'm making it so well. If he doesn't appreciate it, I'm not there for him. And those are the quasars that are not going to help us. Make that cup of tea, whether it is going to be appreciated or not, just make it. If he doesn't appreciate it, then I think there is always a way to sit down and talk about, communicate. When you sit and communicate, let your body language tell it all. Let your verbal communication tell it all. And it takes a woman, a wise woman, to do that. And this is the woman I'm looking for. And I can see these women in the house are really good women. Chief, Chief, you better know that even as much as you're arguing with them, they know what they want. And by knowing what they want is what is making Chief feel like they should not know what they want.
Yeah. Yes.
You're blessed. But
Yeah.
okay, wait, to add on what Mama Daphney has said. Very true, very correct. Especially the part where you communicate, where you feel like something went left. We communicate. I think, luckily, our parents have grown us with that culture of you don't like this, or you don't appreciate this, or maybe I expected this, or I'm not comfortable with something. Start getting in a kasirika, and then I got lit up, and one day becomes one big thing. I will sit you down after you have eaten a very good meal, by the way, and then we'll talk. Well rested, we'll talk. We'll have a proper conversation.
Hi, baby.
This is where the problem comes in. If I have to communicate about the same thing over 10 times, I beg, with my partner child.
Forgive 70 times 7.
No.
Listen, no. There's forgiveness, but then there's also, you're trying to move forward. If you're doing something, like you don't appreciate that I make tea for you, or maybe I've tried a new recipe, and I told you, I want to try this new recipe, I went for shopping, and I cook 1, 2, 3 things, and you just eat, and you say nothing about it. And then I ask you, how was it? It was okay. Like, that's the only feedback you give me. Yeah. If I feel some type of way about it, I'll give it some time and I'll tell you, see, I'm very interested in trying out new recipes every single time. So I'd like if you're more engaging in ABCD. You agree. Okay, that's fine. I'll be more supportive next time because again, you can't find someone who's 100%. Then 2 weeks later, I try another new recipe. You come home, you don't even eat. I serve you, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. I've been telling you about this new recipe the entire day.
But can I ask you a question? Don't you think that some of those things you're mentioning, these are things you're
Those are
mentioning,
examples.
these are
They're
things
bigger
that
things.
are manifesting after
Yeah.
you guys have started.
Yeah.
In the beginning, don't you think these are things you can tell from the beginning?
Let me tell you, they might not start. Sorry, okay. Like, now to go with that, like the new recipe thing. In the beginning, probably you're not living together. Probably you never even cooked for him. Now you're together, or maybe you're spending time at his place, or you've gone somewhere for a staycation where you cook your own meals, and you tell him you're trying 1, 2, 3 things, and he can see the excitement in it. It's about this person. In the beginning, he was very interested in your hobbies, in the things that you'd like to try out. And then now you're together and you're actually trying these things out, and he's showing no interest in the things that you're doing individually, and you're trying to engage him in them, and you tell him, you give him feedback, and you tell him, I'd like a bit more support in 1, 2, 3 things. I'm not even asking you to buy the ingredients. I'm trying to tell you, please tell me if this tastes nice.
What
And
should I
that's
add?
yeah. Do you think this is nice? Do you think we should keep trying this meal and all that? I tell you once, I tell you twice, I tell you 3 times. That's why I start feeling
It's called
unappreciated.
anti.
Let me tell
That's
you
why I start feeling
Auntie.
unappreciated.
Auntie.
something about that is that we all communicate.
Mm.
That's true.
Mm.
But it should be on how you communicate
Mm.
and when you communicate.
Mhm.
You're probably communicating to this person either when he's tired or he's probably having his own stress, or even vice versa, or even how you're saying it. Ati hata nimekuwa nikipikia na tu appreciate.
No,
Na
no,
venye
no.
nimejaribu
You
hizi,
remember that I said,
So
he's
already-
eaten, he's rested, we're having a proper conversation. We're okay, we're good. So I tell you once. Yeah? And you see, this is just like a small thing. Because it's in the small things that you realize the bigger things. I've communicated to you in the most respectful way. And we've agreed. We've actually agreed. And even maybe before I sit you down and ask you, are you in a position to have a conversation with me? And you say yes. And you listen to me, you hear me out. And then I have to keep saying the same thing like 3, 4 times. So it starts becoming a trend where even when I buy a new dress or I doll up for you, you're quiet about it.
But don't you think that's how manipulation begins?
This is it. Thank you very much for bringing that up. Manipulation is very, very interesting in that you could use that kind of talk, or you could just use your body language. You want your way to be the one that is, takes precedence over. Men actually don't like communicating in terms of, they don't even know how to say I love you. They can't even say thank you, excuse me, even if you've done the best. So it's up to you to understand his language. And it's also up to him to understand your language. I can tell you, I know what I cook for Jose to just say, oh, that soup was nice. Don't you think that I will keep on making that soup?
Yeah.
And you will never say it is good, even if I've cooked it 10 times. But I know when I do it, he loves it. He doesn't have to tell me every time that
He
it is
can,
nice.
he can express it.
He
There's
can
a way
express
he can express
This
it.
is it. So it is not about saying it is nice. Your dress could be really nice. He's looked at you. Look at his face. Look at the way he admires you. You don't just walk away from him. Try to turn back and see his reaction on the face. Are you that one who just dresses nicely and walks away without checking behind? Because his look towards your dressing up makes a very big difference.
What if he doesn't?
If he doesn't
And
want,
that there's no reaction. he's
I
so
have a
blank.
question.
then there must be a reaction. A human being must react, yes.
I have a very big question. When you're getting into the relationship, courtship, I accepted to be your wife. Then after that, I'm your wife, and I go get that nice dress. When you started dating, you sat me down or you asked me, and for me, I like to ask people, what is your love language? For example, if my love language is compliments, and you stop complimenting me, then I'm not feeling loved enough. So I'm with Wacera when she says he does not compliment you. He stopped complimenting you. If my love language is being complimented and my husband is not doing it, I'm not feeling loved. I'm not feeling
Ignite the
happy.
fire. Keep the fire burning. In fact, if the communication has stopped, let us try and keep the fire burning. It's a job. It's not something that you do once and it's work. Actually, it is work. In fact, the Bible says she works, and that is part of work. The Bible also says she is, the husband has confidence in her.
You put in the effort.
You put in the efforts, and then she's also nutritionally conscious. She is entrepreneurial. If you do all these things and this man doesn't appreciate, surely he is not a man to be with.
Yes.
Hey, that's a boy.
Hey,
That's
hey,
a boy.
hey,
That's a
hey,
boy.
hey.
No.
Hey.
I'm telling you the truth.
Hey.
From the time we came
Mary
together-
had something to say.
From the time we came together, I remember making this comment. There is a very big difference between boys and men.
And isn't that what I also said?
That
We're
is
being
what
on
you're
the
saying.
same
But
thing.
boys become men. So they also need to
You
do
have
these
to wait
things.
for
The
that thing
difference
to
is
become
just
a man, and women mature faster than
Yeah,
men.
you have to wait for that thing to become a man.
Let me tell you, boys mature slower than women. You all mature fast. And it's also
Keep
But
up.
you see also,
physically-
but also, let me tell you, that's an okay and a not okay statement because, like we said earlier, there are 40-year-old boys and 20-year-old men.
But we should stop making people have excuses.
Yeah, let's stop that excuse. If you're just
No.
not man enough,
No.
sorry, but you're not man enough.
It's
Yes.
true. If you're not
And
woman
that's
enough,
it.
sorry,
And
you're
that's
not woman
okay.
enough.
And that's
Yes.
okay.
Our quiet guest wants to say something.
Okay. Let me say something. So, I think this generation of ours, the problem we have, we are expecting too much from the men. And on our side, what are we doing?
Oh, okay. It's good you've added that part because I was about to say that sounds like a pick me up statement, but yes. Number one, if my standards are here, right? My standards for a man are here. To be very honest and to be very frank, I can't be here. I need to be somewhere here. Somewhere here. In that, hatujaachana sana at to a point where he feels like a savior. He's come to save me. He's coming to save me. No one is coming to save you, sweetie. Unless you're looking for a baba. That's different. Because we said everyone has a goal, but if your goal is marriage, which I feel is like the main goal, of course, what we're talking about today. If your standards are A, you're allowed to be at B, C. But not that you're stagnant. You're working towards, and even him still working towards, going further. But then, waiting
I
for...
don't expect a lady to lower her standards for me.
Yeah.
You can't expect someone to. Personally, I cannot even lower my standards for a woman. No. Why? There's a salesperson that said something. When you went to buy a car, the car costed 3.3 million. What the client had was 2.8. The person said, it is not my work to bring the price of the car to 2.8. I need to help you or kind of convince you to bring your expectations, your money, to where the car is. That's why there's financing. That's why there's everything. So if you
apply
can
that to now like, okay, for example, the women, right? If I say I want a man who has done this, I want a man who's here, spiritually, mentally, physically, because so physically matters to some people it doesn't mean forever. And then you come and you say, this is what I have on the table. But I'm working on this list. I've not checked all your boxes, but I've checked some, and the ones I've not checked,
I'm working
on them. And those that I've already checked, I'm working to better them or maintain them. You know what? If you're a sensible woman, you're like, okay, all right, let's see if I can work with that. If I can't, same thing as a woman. If your standards don't match up to the guy that you want to be with, right? And you're comfortable with where you are. Sorry, sis. It's not gonna work. Because now this is where also madhara ya mwanaume inaingianga. Oh, where before I knew you couldn't do this for yourself. You couldn't do this for yourself. All I've done is given you. You've not even given me one idea that can bring food to our table. I'm not saying you bring food to the table, but if I come home, I'm tired. The office was there's this issue at the office, and I come and tell you, and you're all like, what sauta do? How see wanawake? Au ni wasichana?
Yeah.
No, but listen, let's not shut everyone out. It's not wrong. Like, let's say the wife is probably you are. Let's say the wife is like an Instagram or whatever, or a YouTuber, right? And the husband is an economist.
That's okay.
Honestly, if I come home and I'm having whatever kind
Issues
of work, and
at
I'm
the
telling you,
office.
I'm looking at you, I don't expect her
To
like,
give you the
me
answer.
but the support, the fact that
Yeah,
she's actually
no.
asking me, like, what's up? I don't expect to give me the answer,
And-
but the idea that she actually cares enough
And you
to ask
see,
me
that's why I said,
is what was good.
someone asking you what sauta do is not just setting atasema exactly sauta do. She'll probably just listen to you and will be like, oh, okay. But if she'll be like, oh my God, can I pour you a glass of whiskey to let you relax? There's a hot plate
Should I
for
make
you.
you
Should
your
I
favorite
run you the
food?
bath? It's not to give you the solution, to be honest.
next time hata fanye kasearch kidogo useme
But then niliona
can
hii.
we try
Can
it?
you
No.
Ebu explain this to me better? Actually, there's this thing that you mentioned. I asked a friend of mine. She told me you can try ABCD. Those women are different.
That's a woman.
But okay, on her questions that we expect too much, I feel like both genders have become too lazy in relationships. We've settled for bare minimum. Bare minimum ni sawa umenipatia, but me I feel like relationship, it shouldn't be like nikazi, but it should automatically come that both of you are putting in efforts to be together. So hata dem ukiona ati hiyo ku expect too much, pia wewe usikae tu chini unapatiwa tu do unapelekwa out, ama pia chali unakaa tu unapikiwa. It should be the other way around. We change roles. Leo chali aseme leo mimi ndo niko kwa jikoni, nikataka ni ugali yenye haijaiva, bora kukwe tu na hiyo engagement where we feel excited every day to do things for each other.
Again, there's also the point of instant gratification. Like what you said, it's true. Utapata, people are expecting more for doing less. People are expecting way more. Like, you're expecting to have a plane by just sitting there. And you're not doing the work. You're not putting in the work. That's the point of being.
And putting in the work is making sure if you're just going to the house, is that home run properly? You don't need to be the one doing the work, but then you can have your feet up all day. But are you managing that house? Your man may be financially stable enough to have 2 domestic workers, a nanny, a gardener, a gatekeeper, chauffeurs there for you. But are you running that home for him properly? You know, you might never even go to the grocery store ever. But do you know what the budget equal? How much are you spending? Are you overspending? Are you aware of your man's financial woes?
And also, don't expect the person who you are dating the way he was to change in marriage. It does not happen. If you chose kukaa na huyo msee mkidate the way he was, usi expect a change mkiingia kwa marriage.
And that
Kama akwa na kucompliment that time ati akwambie leo tukienda date, umevaa dress smart, hata mkiingia kwa marriage hata kucompliment.
I mean, you can be better, but is this person trying to, before you guys get married, has this passion?
fashion.
You're passionate.
I'm passionate.
About
Right?
the topic, yeah.
Does this person, while you're courting, does he or she show interest in bettering themselves? Are they already putting in the work to better themselves? Are they not just loving you, but loving you in the way that you desire?
Hapo naweza disagree kwa hiyo statement amesema. Ushaipata situation where or someone say, oh my god, even dating this guy was an angel. Akisai tuko na watoto, this guy never shows up, he's a deadbeat person, he doesn't. People can change because people become comfortable and seeing that one person every day, uanze kutamani nje kwa relationship, mkisha kwa pete, kuzasha kwa pete, wewe ni wake, hana option nyingine. Unaget, but when he was dating you, he was chasing after you to get you into that. So there's sometimes in situation where people can change.
But do you know mostly many marriages wakati unapata mwanaume ana change, first it's because maybe you're not giving him peace of mind.
Don't blame the woman.
I'm not blaming the woman, I'm just saying. Second, yani ana tu peace. Mwanaume ataipata peace. Believe me, ataenda. Hata uko unafanya aje, ataenda.
That's true.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Ataenda.
But peace even for the
The
woman.
man is
Yeah.
the head of the family too. But you the head of the house. He's the woman.
Yeah.
You're the one who is running that house.
Mm.
Let me tell you. You're the one running that house.
Ati leo hujaniambia niko smart, sijui nini, unaenda. Ataenda ambie mwingine ako smart.
There's
na
this
wewe
common
baki hapo.
statement that goes around.
Sema.
There's this common statement that goes around that I was with this guy when he had nothing, or I was with this guy when this like this was like this, and then when he got everything, he left. What an show. Comfort. Never accept to be in the comfort zone. Even if you've chosen to submit to this person, work up pressure. You don't settle for anything mediocre for whatever reason. Don't allow excuses. Even if this guy upgrades and becomes the richest person, at the upgrade we don't upgrade.
Sometimes
Yeah,
unapanda na
and then
yeye.
you are staying there. That person will go there to meet panda.
Watu
Akuwezile
wanampenda
za-
You'll meet
zile-
his
moto.
You'll meet
Akuwezile
his
za-
type.
Nyumbani ukiinua
Yeah, he'll meet his type.
You'll meet his
That's the
type.
thing. Yeah, when the man is upgrading, we don't upgrade. Isikuwe ati mtu anaachwa, move together. That's why it's called a team. Songeni pamoja. So other, even if anything happens, it's okay.
Can I
you
say
know?
something? From experience.
Yeah.
I'm actually agreeing with you 100%. Today is a lucky day. I'm just agreeing with you 100%. The reason why I'm agreeing with this is because this is from experience. Hey, if someone found you in a certain state, maybe let's say peaceful, financially you're not struggling, and then you get on with this person. First month things are okay, but all of a sudden things start going like haywire. Drama. All of a sudden, after kakao kupata ni shida, like you're literally so broke. So broke. And at that time, you are now to come na kosanana. People you should never kosana with. Run. My brother, my sister, run. Even for you as a man, if she's just draining your pockets, draining them. I know, but when you know, it's okay, but then if you want to send her, if you want to buy her, if you want to give her, because you men, hey, when you really love someone, you will go above and beyond for them. They won't even have to ask. They will not have to ask. Because it's after you leave that relationship, that's when you think back about it and you're like, hey, that person actually hated me because of how they treated you. But if you're with someone and your life is just on a go slow, nothing is moving, ask yourself then. You might be blocking your blessings. Flee.
The Bible says, submit to God, resist that.
Kindly,
Flee. You
kindly
might
not,
be blocking
kindly
your
not. It is
blessings.
not just to flee. Kindly not. If you've put in all the efforts, you've tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, na bado inakataa, that is you flee.
Yeah.
See this other one whereby umeona tu and then
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
let me tell you.
But also, please, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Don't stay in a relationship like that for a year.
I hear pia ni mchezo.
When they start, because you see, people can pretend for 6 months. 3 to 6 months, that's when you start knowing someone exactly for who they are. When you start seeing these signs, which are now redder than they were before because they were red. The red flags were there. They're just more now. Give yourself at most a month because also women, as the emotional, you need to leave that relationship emotionally so that you don't go back. Give yourself a month. Face it out pole pole. Once you leave, you will never look back. You'll be looking back to say, wow, and yeah, I'd blocked my blessings.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in as long as there is forward movement, it doesn't matter the speed.
There's always
As
better.
long as there is forward movement, bado uko sawa.
There's always better.
Kuna stagnation, kuna kurudi nyuma na kuna kusonga. Speed za watu ni tofauti. Unapata huyu mzee anataka speed, anataka Maserati. Lakini wewe unasonga na beats. As long as at the end of the day, even the total is finished the race.
That's true.
So where decide? Unataka Cheche, unataka total.
The only problem is where you're stagnant. Where you're stagnant is a problem.
Kama kuna kama uko na mzee, and then in this period you put together, hakuna kitu inafanyika. Hakuna things happen. Hakuna
Amjanunua nyumba.
There is nothing progressive. Hakuna kitu kimefanya pamoja imeleta some positive.
And before you are okay, you are moving in the proper direction. Sasa umepatana, it's either ni kama gari imekwama na isongi mbele. If anything, ni kama mnasonga nyuma hata.
Lakini unajua unaweza kuambia kitu moja. Yes, there is love and submission. Those two come together and they work together. Lakini kuna other supporting matters.
Yes.
There are other supporting matters. Ushaambiwa statement kama hii, tutakula mapenzi.
Hiyo ndio gani sasa?
Will we eat mapenzi?
Yeah, even me, I ask someone.
Hatuwezi kula mapenzi. There needs to be kuna there are other supporting matters.
Yeah.
So lakini vile umesema, it's also a choice. You choose where you want to be.
You choose because let me tell you, I'm not saying
choose where you want to.
go where you're loved. Go where you're loved because at the end of the day, fine. Hakuna do. Will this person turn on you? Mwanze kukosana heshima, juu hakuna do. Ama this person will stand by you even if you're not taking her to the places that you were taking her before. She knows this thing is temporary. You're going through some family issues. It's just for now. You'll work through it. She's standing by you. Because she can see who you were when you were starting and she wants to believe that. But you start disrespecting her. And you become emotionally abusive to her.
It's emotional abuse. It's the worst kind of abuse.
It's where we say bye.
Even men, ukianza kupata amekuwa emotionally abusive.
Yeah, please. Because women are
When
also women are also
If there's a lesson I've learned in this life, hey, don't wait for flag. But you do, I don't know what, my friends. If it is not working,
it's not working.
There's something called, what are they called? There's this word. Break what?
Break even.
Not break even. There's a word for it. What are your deal breakers? What are your deal breakers? Hapo kama kuna, don't wait to tick two, the first one.
That's true. You're non-negotiable.
Because today people easily get comfortable.
Yes. Yeah.
People are easily getting comfortable, and that's a problem. So
Tumekuwa lazy. Me say watu wamekuwa lazy kupenda.
no, si ati watu wamekuwa lazy. Watu wanataka instant results. Instant results. Haiwezi kuwa hivyo. Instant results. Nataka yes, msee ukimwangalia ako na potential ya kuwa na doa, azimu mtu kimcheki akaimto, lakini itakuja nini? Mtu anataka right now. People want right now. No.
Na pia unafanya aje?
Finance pay inasema money today is better than money tomorrow. Lakini kwa life I apply hivyo. It doesn't apply like that. You have to work for it. And that is what people are trying to avoid. Working for it. I don't want to go through this. I don't want to do such kind of things, man.
Yes, minimum effort and maximum results. It's not just about working hard. It's also about working smart. Right?
Yeah.
So I agree when people say I can put in smart effort without exhausting myself and still maximizing or enjoying my life. That's okay. People are not self-aware. But you need to understand where you work hard and where you work smart. You understand? And unless you're in it just for, I don't know, it's like a business arrangement. He provides this, you provide this. That's up to you. If it's not supposed to lead up to marriage. But now let me tell you something else. When Rihanna announced that she's pregnant, a boy asked me, manzi, yani Rihanna mpaka alikuwa na prince wa Dubai and she didn't get married to him. Ameenda kwa ASAP. It's ASAP, yeah? Ameenda amepata mtoi na ASAP. And of course ASAP's net value is not as much as Rihanna's. And this was my response. Respect and peace. She knows ASAP is not a bum. Mm-hmm. The prince, of course, had more wealth, but where there's respect and peace is where you go. Lilian Nana left Alfred Muto, who has more money than Juliana. Didn't even take her long, and she's now expecting a baby for Juliana. And they went ahead and got married. Respect and peace.
Boys don't get it wrong, after pesa.
No, after pesa. No. Acha nikwambie. No, listen, look. Julian still has money, no? Julian still has money. He's not a bum. ASAP is not a bum. But this lady left more money to be with people who still have money, but there's peace and there's respect where they are.
I've not been in a situation, she has come to define the reason why they married someone. I can define. The person is like, when I was with this person, things just started working. Yani, in a way, there's peace, even for a woman to get pregnant. Even the mind must just accept. The mind must accept that I want to be like this. And then there's peace. You know, things are just flowing. Doors are opening. You even with this person, hata shida gani ikuje, you just are.
Yeah, this one is
tutatua. Yani mko na hiyo it actually exists. It actually does exist. I've seen many people like I've seen people do it. My cousin married when he was 24. Kila mtu alikuwa tu anamwangalia tu hivi. Right now they're in Sweden. Ever since he married that chick, things just started. Yani it's like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Behind every successful man, there is a strong woman.
No, but we don't want to be strong no more. We don't want to be resilient no more. I am a soft babe. Let me tell you, behind every strong man, there's a prayerful woman.
And a soft babe.
This hour. Call me sponge, but I'm a sponge cake.
Let me tell you, life does not want more soft people.
No.
Let me tell you something. Life doesn't want more soft people. You have to be resilient. You have to.
And let me tell you,
you have
being a prayerful woman means you draw your strength from the Bible.
Prayer
But
without action.
Listen. Being a strong woman has been so misused because this strong woman is the same woman who's beaten up.
Being a strong man has also been misused.
Exactly. No one is telling you to be strong. Be a prayerful man.
It's no one.
Be a prayerful man.
You to be strong.
But that's society for you.
Even mom herself said it. That time when you were talking about we're talking about men doing what? Men something. There's something about men opening up.
But where do you?
Man needs to be assertive.
Where do you draw your strength from? Is it in the world, in this society that expects you to be like that?
From within.
Or it's from within? And what is within you?
You
see, that's where that.
Yeah.
Thank you for being honest. Because if you draw your strength from God,
then to be honest, at some point, you know.
If you're Christian,
I have to be honest. I'm not going to. At some point, I gave up on God.
At some point, God had that phase.
I was here playing for this thing, weapon, things. Then all of a sudden, take it, gone. here playing.
But can I
But
tell you
it's
Then I
something?
realized
Can I
it's
tell you
not about
something?
God doing anything.
Mm.
You have to put in the work.
Can I tell you
Changamka.
something? Yes. Can I tell you
But
something?
hata uweke hiyo kazi
Faith
na
is a state of the
uchangamke
mind.
without God. It's
Check if
life.
faith is a state of the mind.
Kama si yako, si yako. But let me tell you something. That which did not work
Don't
for
ever
you.
give up on God.
That which did not work for you. Yeah? Nothing ever happens to you. It happens for you. All those relationships that ended, and you don't know why they ended, and you don't know where things went wrong, but things just went wrong. It was God telling you, my child, hapo si kwako.
Kuna vitu better.
Huyu si wako. There are things, those friends you've lost, God had conversations they were
But
having
you
about
never-
you when you're not there. So it's happening for you, not
Or
to
even
you.
the way he's saying, you're praying for a car and you're just seated in the house.
Yeah, no, you have to work. You have to work. You have to work.
And the car determines the amount of work.
Kama
Yes,
kondoo.
you have to work.
Yes.
But do you know what? Do you know what? We forget. We talk about consistency in relationships and marriages, but we also forget consistency in prayer is also work. It's also work. So as you're working with your hands, you go and tell
That's
God.
bad.
You tell God, bless the work of my hands. God, I want this. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you, if God has put a desire in your heart, it's because He knows the doors, windows, holes, everything. The roof is open for you to get it. All those opportunities,
Lifted my life.
all those opportunities are there for you. God will not just bring you a car. He will give you the opportunities to get the car. God will not just give you money. He'll give you opportunities to make money. No changamoto. That's why you work. And when you're at it, you pray. And when you receive it, you tell
We
God.
thank God.
Bongo class. That has been our topic for today.
We expected war.
But
there was
in peace. But we come in peace. I think I'm just going to ask everyone to just say a word or two. Yani ile to top it up. Sanza pale na Mwikali, Mary. Just say something small based on the topic. Ya kukrown tu, hata kusema anything.
Okay, so according to me, what I've taken away from this session, love and submission marry each other. You don't say, if you love me, I will submit. If you submit, I will love you. It's a circle. Thank you.
Chief Bazenga.
This has been a very good topic. Yes, and I expected war. Came ready. From the time we started the conversation, kuna vile nilikuwa nishaona tutakuwa na baridi. Lakini kuna vile si wote tumevaa sweater, so it came out right. So I can say that guys, you have to put in the work. As much as you're talking about love and submission, equal to the meaning. Love and submission can be the pillars. Lakini kumbuka hiyo pillar ni itengenezwe. Kuna kokoto, kuna mchanga, kuna simiti, kuna chuma. And all those things. So you have to put in the work, be patient, and also know when to walk out. Man. Know when to walk out. Red flags are very obvious. They are very obvious. From the beginning, why is it done? Hata mtu akiamua kwa chameleon design gani. Chameleon iko na original color. So, guys, stay woke. Kuna watu wazuri hapo nje pia. Kuna watu wazuri.
Thank you. Kabash.
Oh, a lot has been said. I agree. Love and submission marry each other. And there's a lot of good out there. Good people, good things, good relationships. Man, don't give up. Don't stop being a good person because someone hurt you. Don't make people suffer because of your past. But before you move forward with anyone, just make sure you're healed, even if not 100%. Make sure you're open with what you want from the word go. And if you're a Christian, always remember, if it starts with God, it will stay with God, and it will end with God.
That was deep. Madam Sue. Tumalizie.
All I have to say is If you choose to love, love. If you choose to submit, submit. But as you make the choice that you're making, make put God in the center of everything. That's how everything is going to work out. If you don't put God in the center of everything, you will not find peace. And the peace that is so serene comes from God. Money can give you peace that the peace that you think you'll get. But then at the back of your mind, that's not the real peace. The real peace comes from God. So if you choose to love, love. If you choose to submit, submit. But put God in the center of everything.
Word up, word up. Hey! For me, I'll just say if you're loving, love with an honest heart, wholeheartedly. You're submitting, submit. Likewise. And it shouldn't be either or. It should be love equals to submission, submission equals to love. Today has been really, really nice. There will be more hot topics. I'm telling you, the topics that we've found for you people. This was just the base. This was just the base. Please always stay tuned for our more podcasts, the wellness podcast. We'll be posting, and once we post, we'll be alerting you guys. I just want to say thank you for my guests, Chief Bazenga and Wacera. Pale, Mikali, Mary, Asante Sana for coming. So guys, stay tuned. It's been amazing. It's been one. Wellness podcast is just not a podcast. We just don't only discuss topics. We also offer counseling, therapy, and if you want to reach to us, our number is 0789468881.
Or you can find us on Instagram at
counseling_wellness_consulting on all social media platforms.
That's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Please reach out to us. Our Mama Wellness, as we call her, will always be there for you. It's very affordable. For any more information, just contact us, even through our website. Tafadhali, let's engage. We're here to help people. We're here to listen, and the best way is to offer our services to you. Other than that, peace, bombo clat.
Bombo clap. Brothers, pale kwa kuitisha help is not a weakness.
It's not a weakness. It's mmesikia.